Okay, guys. Well, today we've got another marketplace find that we are so excited for. This car right here might be the ultimate UDR challenger, if you will. Anyways, we'll figure it out and we'll dive into it. Let's figure it out. Let's check out this car. Boom. Look at you guys can't even see me. If I sit down, can you see me through the window? What's going on, guys? Walter with the RC Addiction Vlog. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the RC Vlog, guys. Today is another exciting day. We found ourselves FMS Ridge Racer U4 on Marketplace, RTR, ready to go. Never even been ran. This thing was bought brand new, guys, and put on a shelf and never been ran. I mean, we've talked about this before on the channel, guys, about what you make shelf queens versus what you actually make bashers. And when I saw the opportunity for me to snag this off Marketplace, I did not flinch. And I know I probably should have held out and not gotten this, but we couldn't let it go. We just couldn't let it go. And there's a reason for it. And the biggest reason for me is because I want to truly test to see if this thing is better than the UDR. Okay. From the looks of it, from going and checking it out, seeing pictures, I had done a bunch of reviews looked at a bunch of reviews online of this car. And for what the guy was asking for it, I couldn't pass it up. It was something that I wanted to put in my collection. I felt like it could possibly be better than my UDR just based on how it was built. And the company, maybe FMS builds a better product than Traxxas. I don't know. We're going to find out, though. I tell you what, we are going to do a second part to this video of us terrorizing this thing and seeing what it's all about. I know we're going to do that. But anyways, what my biggest reason for getting this, like I said, is because we wanted to test this thing and see what it's all about. If this thing can beat the UDR, is it better? Is it worse? I don't know. We're going to find out eventually. But today's video is just about us walking around this thing, showing you guys what it's all about, checking out this cool Bronco. I mean, this thing is as scale as it gets right here when it comes to bashers, guys. And I don't even know if you call this a basher or if you call it a racer, right? Maybe, I don't know. Drop a comment below and let me know. Is this thing a true basher? Is the UDR a true basher? I don't know on that either. So all I know is that the UDRs, they're not as strong as they probably should be for the price, right? We all kind of have, anybody that's owned a UDR and broke a UDR knows the pain and suffering you have to go through to fix that car. And I don't know. There's part of me that says that it's not worth it for what you have to pay to fix it, because the UDR parts are not cheap. And then the just painstaking time that it takes to take that car apart compared to other Traxxas bashers. But anyways, this thing is absolutely epic. Let's do a quick walk around of this thing and just show you guys everything that's going on here. Okay. We have double shocks up front. Now, if you guys can see the double shocks as I compress, they are just absolutely monster shocks underneath there. Okay. We'll take the body off in a second and I'll show you. But this thing is just an absolute monster up front. It's got the same double wishbone A-arm setup up front with dual shocks, which you don't normally see on most bashers. The UDR and maybe a couple other cars out in the industry are built like this. Same thing with the rear axle. As we look at the rear axle, it is a 4-linked rear, independent rear, with limit straps and sway bar links. Like, everything works and is correct, like scale correct to what this Ultra 4. I think what they did was they scaled this after the Ultra 4 King of the Hammers, like U4 racer, that a lot of, big companies, Monster Energy and all these big Ultra 4 racers will build to go run King of the Hammers. Now, when you look at the size of this thing, you just think to yourself, like, God, what a unit, right? Like, it's a big car. And like, we'll compare it eventually. We're going to compare this thing to the UDR, and as far as speed and accuracy and durability and just if it's built better in general, right? We just want to know, like, is the FMS Ridge Racer better than the UDR? Like, we're going to find that out. So As we walk around this thing, it is scaled very cool inside with the 2 drivers and your dashboard in there. You do have working LED light bar on the roof and on the front bumper. Those are working LEDs. Now, the one thing I like about this versus the UDR is that the body comes off fairly easily. If you've taken a UDR apart, you know that there's hundreds of bolts, well, not hundreds, but tons of bolts around the body of a UDR. And this thing actually comes with body clips to take the whole body off. And let's do that right now. So up front, you got these 2 big ones that are attached with this rubber snubber on the hood, which is really cool too, because like even if they did pop off, hopefully you won't lose them in the grass or anything if you're bashing. And then all the way in the back, I'm gonna see if I can lift this thing up and show you. All the way in the back, you have 2 more body clips back here that you have to take out to get the body off. Man, I can't even see you guys over the camera. I feel like I'm just like not even in the frame because of how big this car is. This is crazy. But anyways, okay, so we got those body posts undone. We got the clips off. Now you just lift straight up and tilt this back, and that body will rest on the sway bar links just like that, okay? And then you can see your working light bar lights are right here. It doesn't really, I don't really like that, how it pulls on that wire. But anyways, you could disconnect it to actually let it sit further back, but as you can see, guys, check out the power system in this thing. 150 amp ESC. It is 6S capable. It has got a 1600 kV motor. So this thing's going to be lightning fast with a 1600 kV motor in it. Looks like it runs off of 2 3S packs that go right in there, or just one solid. I'm sure Gens Ace probably makes a 6S pack that will go into there on its own, to where you don't have to run the dual batteries. You can just get away with running one, which is probably the best case scenario. But look at these shocks, guys. I mean, I just wanted to give you guys a quick look at these. They're fully aluminum anodized shocks with metal caps on top. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that for a basher. It looks like you got sealed CV drive shaft, or sealed boots on the drive shafts going into the rear axle too. Which it does look like the axle is pretty serviceable as well. That's kind of one of the big things on the UDR that goes bad most of the time. The other thing that will usually go bad in the UDRs is this center diff up front, which is something that we'll keep an eye on. It looks like they put a pretty sturdy center drive shaft in there too, between the diff and the front diff, or the center diff and the front diff. But I like the A-arm setup on this thing. I'm going to put the body back on real quick, guys. Flip this thing up here and show you guys the undercarriage. Now, the one thing that's nice, does come with a full aluminum center chassis here, and then fully boxed A-arms as well, like fully boxed lower control arms, which I'm sure are going to be very, very durable compared to some of the UDR stuff. I mean, we're going to test it out and see, guys, but I just, we want to check out the quality of these parts before we use them and just see. We've also got licensed tires and wheels here. It looks like we've got a Method sort of look-alike bead lock on these, which is really, really cool. As far as what it comes with, guys, like I said, I bought it used, but the guy did still he didn't have the box, which is a super big bummer. But it does come with a little bit of a toolkit, a little bit better than a standard toolkit. And then it looks like it comes with spare parts. Looks like it comes with a spare servo horn, spare antenna tube, and maybe a couple of tuning parts, a spare turnbuckle, or no, that's a servo Ackerman. That's what that is. Okay, spare one of those. That could be scary that it comes with that. But anyways, guys, like I said, this thing's epic. And I felt like it was just something we had to add to the collection. I don't know why. I felt compelled to add this to the collection. And I think it was really just because I wanted to do a really good comparison at some point between the UDR and the Ridge Racer. Like, I feel like this could be the car that, ultimately takes over the UDR. The UDR has always kind of been the top dog that Traxxas makes, just based on the scale, the style of the truck. It's more of that like Ultra 4 style truck right out of the box. It comes with the double shocks just like this does. Solid rear, independent 4-linked rear end. Like, it looks scale race car, scale race truck, really. And I would say this thing's identical to that. It definitely checks all the same boxes. as far as like going out and getting a brand new one, this isn't something that your average everyday RCer is probably going to buy, which I know, and that's not why we're doing that. We're just doing this to show you guys this beautiful machine. And yeah, like I said, once this snow and all the bad weather gets through our area and clears up a little bit, we'll get this thing out and bashing and do some I want to do some slow motions of the suspension and just see it working and seeing how much better, or if it's any better than the UDR, and just go from there and see. But as far as how scale this thing looks and what it's probably capable of, it's probably going to blow my mind, and I'm pretty excited about it. It's one of those cars. It's no different than a couple of the other like low-C NASCARs or some of the like the Pro Moto. Some of those cars I feel like are, I wouldn't say one-offs because they do make them from time to time, but they're definitely there's nostalgia behind it, right? There's nostalgia behind the scale, the usability, and just how intricate some of these machines can get as an RC car, and just how deep some of these companies will dive into that. And that's where a lot of my passion comes from, is just the scale side of things. It doesn't necessarily always have to be the fastest or the cheapest. It's really about the function to me. And when you talk about some of these bigger cars like this that are decked out with these performance parts and more scale rear axle, more scale front suspension, more scale body, the lights, the spare tire, the drivers, like it adds that coolness factor to it in my book. And that's just me. I know everybody's got their own opinion as far as what they would do with it and if it's worth the money and yada, yada, yada. But for me, this is definitely something that I will keep in my collection, not something that we're going to get rid of, and go from there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed just kind of walking around the car and me showing you that stuff, but it is something that I enjoy adding to my collection, even though I am truly an RC racer at heart. I feel like, and that's where I get my adrenaline rush a lot of the times, is from the racing aspect of it. This part still gets me, and when I say that, the scale, how badass these are. And I apologize for the language, but it is on that coolness factor, the top scale of that coolness factor. And for me, it's a done deal at that point. Once my brain tells me how cool it is and what I know is this car's probably capable of, you might as well consider it sold. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure if you want to pick one of these up, the link is down below. If you feel like you need one of these badass Ridge Racers in your collection, snag one today at Horizon Hobbies. They can get you hooked up. But anyways, we will see you next time.